out of touch and insult the intelligence of the American people.
NYPD officials said investigators continue combing through forensic evidence.
You can see that he was very methodical in his actions. We know that he arrived in New York City well before the incident took place.
It could be weeks before Mangione's return to New York to answer to murder charges in the death of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson.
Thompson was gunned down December 4th as he walked down a Manhattan sidewalk. Coming up in 60 seconds, your traffic and weather together on the ones will get you the latest on Highway 1 in Langley and Abbotsford. It is 7:50.
Sleep Shop.
Boxing Week Bedlam is here. Get a bundle deal on an adjustable base, queen memory foam mattress, 2 memory foam pillows, all for only $19.98. Plus, enjoy no tax on all Tempur-Pedic mattresses and snag the Queen Spring Air Bed-in-a-Box mattress for only $6.98. Only at Sleep Shop. Visit us in-store in North Vancouver, Richmond and Langley, or online at sleepshop.ca.
Sleep Shop for the rest of your life.
Stock your truck with the latest and greatest from Milwaukee Tools. Hey, it's Laura from Raider Hansen. Increase efficiency with the full lineup of Milwaukee tools, including M18 power tools, hand tools, pack-out, accessories, and more. Keep your job site charged up with Milwaukee's new Forge battery, bringing the fastest charge time and most power on the market. Pair it with the all-new Super Dual charger. All available at Raider Hansen. Call to ask about special pricing. For industrial and safety supplies, trust Raider Hansen, your source for Milwaukee tools. Visit RaiderHansen.com.
7:51, back up to the 11:30 News Radio Air Patrol and Darren Grieve.
Not a good morning in the valley. We have this crash westbound Highway 1 before 264, still blocking the left lane and part of the right lane, and that volume is back to before Mount Lehman, and another crash now. 2 vehicles westbound Highway 1 just after Clearbrook Road, and that is in the left lane. So take Lougheed or Fraser Highway to get around these. And now Ryan Lindemark.
Maple Ridge, still a collision, 128th Avenue, 216th. Intersection's partially blocked off, and we just heard about a collision in Delta. Multi-vehicle crash, 99 northbound at Ladner Trunk Road in the left lane. It's quickly backing up 99 from 91. 91 at the Alex Fraser Bridge is slow from between 64th and 72nd. The Oak Street Bridge is super busy. A lot of it has to do with that roadwork at Oak and 70th. 99's backing up from Westminster Highway. Knight's backing up to 91. Arthur Lang's busy as well. Traffic is brought to you by Specsavers. Now's a pretty good time to head to Specsavers. Create your perfect glasses with 30% off lens upgrades for a limited time. Conditions and exclusions apply. See specsavers.ca.
And now let's head over to the Penfolds Roofing and Solar Weather Center. Meteorologist Michael Kusa, look at the 5-day forecast. Any significant rainfall in that 5-day forecast?
Friday's a tricky one for sure as far as the track of the low goes, but it does look like we will see steady rain through a good chunk of the day. It may only be 1 millimeter per hour, but if it lasts, 15, 20 hours, that's a lot of water, a fair amount of water. 10 to 20 millimeters in the forecast through that Friday, midday, afternoon, overnight stretch. Could even linger into Saturday morning, so we're keeping an eye on that. The rain that we have on the way for tomorrow is really light. Trace to a couple of millimeters would be maximum on Thursday. And today's totally dry. Mix of sun and cloud this afternoon. We'll get into more and more sun through the day. Daytime highs up around 8 degrees, so warmer than yesterday as well. With the light precipitation tomorrow, it's only up to 6. Rain and 7 on Friday. And as I mentioned, that rain looks like it is going to taper off fairly early on Saturday. Drier in the afternoon and dry, but still a lot of cloud cover around on Sunday. Not the fairest of weekends, but at least not pouring the entire time. Currently, temperatures are just slowly edging up. We're 4 degrees now in Burnaby, 4 downtown. The guaranteed high is 8.
Weather's brought to you by Duick Auto Group. Looking for an electric vehicle? Duick Auto Group has the largest selection of EVs on the lot. Test drive yours today. Duick Auto Group, where your electric future begins. 3 locations and DuickAutoGroup.com.
Thank you, gentlemen. 11:30 News Radio time. It is 7:54. A suicide bombing in Afghanistan's capital has killed a senior Taliban official.
Afghan Interior Ministry officials say the blast struck inside the ministry and killed Khalil Haqqani, the refugee minister. Haqqani is the most high-profile casualty of a bombing in Afghanistan since the Taliban returned to power 3 years ago. He's the uncle of Sirajuddin Haqqani, who leads a powerful network within the Taliban. There's been no immediate claim of responsibility for the blast. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Well, conspiracy theorist Alex Jones is keeping InfoWars for now.
A judge in Houston has rejected the sale of Alex Jones's InfoWars to the satirical news outlet The Onion. Federal bankruptcy judge Christopher Lopez cited problems with the auction process and said the outcome left a lot of money on the table for families of the Sandy Hook school shooting who stand to receive most of the proceeds. Judge Lopez left it up to the trustee who oversaw the auction to determine the next steps. The Onion, which had planned to relaunch InfoWars as a parody site, bid $1.75 million in cash plus other incentives, while a company that sells nutritional supplements in Jones's name offered $3.5 million. The decision means Jones can stay at his InfoWars headquarters in Austin, and Jones quickly went back on the air to applaud the judge's decision. I'm Jennifer King.
Working for you for nearly 3 decades.
Always listen 3, 4, 5 times a day for breaking news, traffic, and weather.
1130 News Radio, Vancouver.
Well, goaltender Thatcher Demko for your Vancouver Canucks made his long-awaited return last night.
It was an interesting night at Rogers Arena because there was a little bit of extra buzz with Demko making his return and starting in goal for the first time since the end of April last season.
Felt rusty for sure.
There was quite the ovation from the crowd as he was announced as part of the starting lineup. He got tripped up very early in this game, made some big stops, had to deal with some breakaways. He did get cleanly beaten by Robert Thomas in the first period, but he also bounced back to stone a couple of breakaway chances in this game. And let's be honest, the Canucks maybe don't even get to overtime if he didn't make some massive stops in that third period. So lots of positives from the Demko side of things. He definitely looked like the starting goalie we've come to know. The big question is, what's the body going to feel like as the days go on? How do the Canucks manage this? That's going to be the big question as we go through the coming days and weeks. Don't forget, the Florida Panthers are going to be here on Thursday night. I'm Marcus Fitzgerald.
1130 News Radio Traffic Alert.
In Abbotsford, there's a 2-car crash, Highway 1 westbound west of Clearbrook Road in the left lane. And in Langley, there's a collision. This one's been here for a while between a truck and an SUV. Highway 1 westbound just before 264th, the exit there, the left lane is blocked, but the backup is stretching east of Mount Lehman Road. Use Fraser Highway instead if you can. Darren and Ryan will be back at 8:01 with a full update for you.
This 1130 News Radio Traffic Alert has been brought to you by Willowbrook Shopping Center. Retail therapy redefined. Shop willowbrook.com.
Coming up, we'll take a look at your business news at 7:57.
The holiday season is a time of celebration.
Feeling good and spreading cheer.
Join the feeling as 1130 News Radio brings you all Christmas news.
Listen 25 minutes past every hour starting at 6:25 a.m.
For the news on the hottest toys, tastiest treats, and holiday stories from right here in Vancouver. It's all Christmas news.
Brought to you by Barkbusters. A better way to a better dog. Barkbusters.ca.
Exclusively on 1130 News Radio Vancouver.
Well, Bay Street opened the trading day at a record high with the TSX up better than 150 points in the opening minutes. Now it's up just 34 on the Bay Street benchmark, 25,726. Upward momentum coming, though, from the railways, CN and CP, both up by 1% so far. The maneuvers or signals coming out of China's central bank overnight about a loosening of monetary policy into 2025, kind of igniting a buy on some of the gold stocks and the mining companies on the TSX. Teck Resources, copper miner and others, is up by 5.5% so far this morning. Kinross, Agnico, and Barrick all up by better than 3%. The price for gold is up $36 at $26.95. Wall Street's got the Dow Jones up, it's down 109, and the Nasdaq down 118. Nasdaq and S&P both pulling back from records. S&P 500 down by 21 points. A drop-off for NVIDIA on indications that China is going to be looking at NVIDIA on maybe some antitrust concerns, and that's got NVIDIA stock down 3.1%. Shares of Apple up 0.75%, testing a record. Palantir had opened higher, but now pulling back by 2.75%, and Tesla down by 1.5%. In the currency market, the Canadian dollar at 70.82 is up 1/5 cent. The Bank of Canada set for a policy announcement midweek. Only question that really remains whether they go 25 or 50 basis points on the interest rate reduction, and the probability of that right now 83%, according to the bond trade. The price for gold up $35. Bitcoin down 2,500. Had breached 100,000 briefly again this morning, back now at 97,500. At the Business Center, I'm Mike Uppel.
The Business Report is brought to you by Urban Auctions.
Urban Auctions Langley is the best place to sell your valuable collectibles or to liquidate your estate. Get top dollar for your quality sports cards, comics, antiques, records, and video games. To consign or to get a cash offer, call or email us at urbanauctions.ca. Also, if you're looking for super deals, Urban Auctions has hundreds of items to bid on. Check us out at urbanauctions.ca.
Hey there, Canadian snowbirds. Planning your escape to warmer destinations? Don't forget the most essential part of your trip, travel insurance. Picture this. You're basking in the sun, sipping a pina colada, and suddenly life throws you a curveball. Medical emergency, delayed luggage, trip interruption? Don't worry. Goose Insurance has you covered. Canada's best insurance app. With Goose, you get $10 million in travel medical and get coverage for your unstable pre-existing medical condition. Download the Goose app today or visit gooseinsurance.com.
CKWX is 11:30 News Radio. It is 8 o'clock.
Number one for breaking news, traffic, and weather. 11:30 News Radio, Vancouver.
Good morning. It is Wednesday, December 11th. I'm Terry Shens.
And I'm Olivia Jones. Partly cloudy, 3 degrees in Vancouver. Here's what's happening right now.
Traffic alert in Langley, a collision that's been causing problems all morning on Highway 1 westbound just before 264th. A full traffic report is moments away.
The big bank announces another 50 basis point cut in the key lending rate.
27 days into the postal strike, and tensions appear to be rising between Canada Post and the union representing workers.
Trump, tariffs, and rising tension with the U.S. The focus of another meeting today involving Prime Minister Trudeau and the country's premiers.
Vancouver Canucks go to overtime against the St. Louis Blues and scores from around the National Hockey League. Sports at 15.
Our dollar moves higher after a jumbo interest rate cut. It's a winning day on Bay Street, and the NASDAQ hits an all-time high. Business at 26.
It is 8:01.
Let's head up to the 11:30 News Radio Air Patrol. Here is Darren Green.
And finally, some good news in Abbotsford. This crash, westbound Highway 1 before 264, is now more or less cleared. There is one vehicle and a fire truck on the right shoulder, but that's it. All lanes have reopened again. The volume still heavy from Mount Lehman, so this will take some time for this to dissipate. But again, all lanes have reopened at that crash before 264. Still have the crash though westbound after Clearbrook in the left lane. That's certainly causing you some delays. The rest of your trip all the way to the Port Mann Bridge looking pretty good, and busy morning through the Quitlam and Burnaby Lake stretch, but it is just volume. And now Ryan Littlebach.
Delta, still a multi-vehicle crash. Highway 99 northbound at Ladner Trunk Road in the left lane, so it's busy from the 91 exit. And the Alex Fraser Bridge lineup is 91 from south to 64th. Maple Ridge is still this collision, 128th Avenue at 216th. And traffic is brought to you by Dueck Auto Group. Looking for an electric vehicle? Dueck Auto Group has the largest selection of EVs on the lot. Test drive yours today. Dueck Auto Group, where your electric future begins. 3 locations and DueckAutoGroup.com.
Over to the Penfolds Roofing and Solar Weather Center. Very good morning to our Michael Coos.
Yeah, great morning to you too, Terry. It's an overcast morning, lightening up out there. Sun just up over the horizon. Sunrise just a couple minutes ago. This afternoon, we'll see more and more of that sun, up to 8 degrees. A cloud cover filling back in overnight with light rain tomorrow afternoon. Steady rain on the way for Friday. Full forecast in moments. Right now, we're hovering at a temperature of 4 degrees downtown Vancouver, 3 in North Burnaby. The afternoon guaranteed high is 8.
11:30 news time, 8:03.
11:30 News Radio. Developing story.
It continues to be an ugly commute if you're heading west out of Abbotsford. A 2-vehicle crash east of 264th is being cleared away now, but it has traffic crawling from east of Mount Lehman.
Our Darren Grieve is in the Air Patrol with a look at your possible alternative routes.
If you can get off before Mount Lehman and take Fraser Highway, that's probably your best bet, or Lothian Highway, as a matter of fact. Either of those two, if you can get over there.
There's also a westbound crash near Clearbrook, south of the Fraser. There's a 4-car crash, Highway 99 near Ladner Trunk. We'll have a full update for you in just a few minutes.
For the second meeting in a row, the Bank of Canada's decided on a supersized cut to its key interest rate.
11:30's Mike Apple says the central bank is watching the threat of U.S. tariffs while trying to boost consumer confidence.
The central bank says the economy grew just 1% in the third quarter, which was below their initial projections. And the fourth quarter looks weak, too. You combine that with the rising unemployment rate and risks of U.S. tariffs hitting the economy early next year. The Bank of Canada deciding on another 50 basis basis point interest rate reduction, back-to-back 50s. That'll lead to lower variable rates at the big banks and other things that are tied to the Bank of Canada's overnight lending rate benchmark. Bank of Canada Governor Tiff Macklem says the upcoming GST holiday will provide a temporary slowdown to inflation. At the same time, Macklem's warning consumers to not expect any more of these big interest rate cuts, looking at more of a modest pace of rate relief next year. At the Business Center, I'm Mike Uppel.
Well, 27 days into the postal strike, and tensions appear to be rising between Canada Post and the union representing workers.
With each passing day, the likelihood of Canada Post job action ending in time to send out holiday cards and packages diminishes. And now, as the strike at the Crown Corporation nears the 1-month mark, the two sides appear to be moving even further apart. The Canadian Union of Postal Workers issued a statement last night, pushing back on recent criticism from Canada Post, giving a list of proposals it says are meant to bring the two parties closer together. The statement came after Canada Post said Monday that the union's latest proposals widen the gap, claiming in some cases the union had increased its demands. Cup W says its latest proposals included wage increases lower than previously demanded. I'm Laura Carney.
Premier David Eby and his counterparts across the country are about to get an update on how the feds plan to respond to the threat of U.S. tariffs on Canadian imports.
7:30's Jamie Palver with more on the upcoming meeting.
There's a lot to talk about as U.S. President-elect Donald Trump continues to taunt Canada and Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, again calling him the governor of the great state of Canada, all amid tariff threats, 25% on Canadian goods. Ontario Premier Doug Ford says he hopes to talk about the country's approach to negotiations during the meeting today. And he appeared on Fox News again yesterday.
We're going to hold the Prime Minister accountable, and he needs to come up with an answer.
Now, Ford going on to say that he would actually fly to Mar-a-Lago today if Trump had a few minutes to talk tariffs. No word on if that's actually a possibility. I'm Jamie Pulford.
11:30 News Radio Traffic Alert.
It is a mess right now in the valley. Crews are on scene working to clear the multi-vehicle collision. Number 1 westbound before 264th. Vehicles on the right shoulder. It's still really busy from Mount Lehman. Plus a crash in Abbotsford westbound, number 1 west of Clearbrook. And in Delta, a collision 99 northbound at Ladner Trunk. We'll get to all those details at 8:11. This traffic alert brought to you by Willowbrook Shopping Center. Retail therapy redefined. ShopWillowbrook.com.
Thank you, Ryan. 8:07, a mix of sun and cloud, 3 degrees in Vancouver, and the BC Nurses Union laying out demands ahead of provincial contract negotiations next year.
Our Cecilia Wise speaking with the union president, Adrian Gear.
Dozens of healthcare workers from the BC Nurses Union rallied in Burnaby Tuesday, calling for safer working conditions. They are setting the stage and making their demands loud and clear ahead of the provincial contract negotiations set to take place early next year.
Nurses, they deserve the same respect and safety as any other British Columbian that goes to work each and every day.
In Burnaby, Cecilia Hua, City News.
Well, as drivers head to stores to do their holiday shopping, ICBC is warning you to be extra cautious in parking lots, which see an increase in crashes during the holiday season.
A new study from the ICBC says that over half of BC drivers feel more uncomfortable driving in a parking lot as opposed to the open road.
Oh, yeah. It's very stressful to drive in a parking lot. It's dangerous.
According to ICBC, a lot of the stress the drivers are feeling can be attributed to parking lots being unpredictable and chaotic, with many drivers not following speed limits, unforeseen weather conditions, or pedestrians not paying attention when walking to their destinations.
Well, because people are in a hurry, people are not paying attention, people are... I think they're stressed, and you really have to be aware.
In Vancouver, Joe Sadowski, City News.
We are Vancouver's station for breaking news, traffic and weather, traffic alerts as they happen, 11:30 News Radio.
Coming up, we'll take a look at your ferry report.
Own the moment, own the season. In a new Mitsubishi from Applewood Mitsubishi. Right now, enjoy lease or finance rates starting at 1.99% on select models, including the Mitsubishi Outlander and Eclipse Cross. Plus, receive up to a $1,000 no-charge winter tire credit. That's kind of a big deal. For all the details, visit Applewood Mitsubishi in the Richmond Auto Mall and online at applewoodmitsubishi.ca.
It's all good at Applewood.
now your 11:30 News Radio Ferry Report. Here is Ryan Littmark.
Boston Swartz Bay, the 9 o'clock sailing's almost sold out, Olivia. Boston Duke Point, the 10:15 is right around 3/4 full. Horseshoe Bay, Departure Bay, 8:25 is about to leave shortly. 10:40 is half full. And you can find latest ferry updates anytime at vancouver.citynews.ca/traffic.
Traffic and weather together up next. It is 8:10.
It's time to go to a place you'll adore, where holiday cheer is always in store. Find gifts of all types where joy's in the air. It's all yours to love this Christmas at Kensington Square. Shop kensingtonsquare.ca.
Don't miss the London Drugs Weekly Flyer. During the Canada Post disruption, you can still find London Drugs Weekly Flyer in store or online at londondrugs.com/flyer. That's londondrugs.com/flyer.
This is the perfect time of year to get engaged.
Think about all the Christmas parties and the New Year's Eve parties.
Everyone who cares about you will be conveniently gathered together.
Think about it.
And when you're done thinking, come to Spence Diamonds and try on hundreds of different engagement rings.
All the designer prototypes right out in the open.
Just pick them up and try them on.
You have our official permission.
And every ring has a price on it that includes all the diamonds.
Come to Spence.
It's time to get engaged.
Spence. Open late in Vancouver and Langley.
11 back we go to the Air Patrol. Here is Darren Grieve.
Clear to crash westbound Highway 1 before 264th. You will see a fire truck and another vehicle on the right shoulder, but the lanes have all reopened. Starting to see that ease off a little, but we still have a two-car crash westbound on Highway 1 just west of Clearbrook Road, and that's in the left lane. So still very busy trying to get out of Abbotsford this morning. Take Low Heat Highway or Fraser Highway to avoid this mess. And now over to Ryan Littmark.
Delta, there's a multi-vehicle crash. Highway 99 northbound at Ladner Trunk Road in the left lane, and 99 is slow from the 91 exit. If you use the Alex Fraser, I would do that. It's only slow 91 from 72nd. Maple Ridge is still this collision on 128th Avenue at 216th. The intersection is partially blocked off, so it's pretty busy around there. Traffic is brought to you by Shannon Oaks. Discover perfect blend of luxury. And home today with Shannon Oaks Vancouver, where grace meets comfort. For more information, head to shannonOaks.com.
Let's head over to the Penfolds Roofing and Solar Weather Center. Here is meteorologist Michael Coos.
Yeah, thanks so much, Terry. Still pretty gray out there this morning. We'll get more and more sun, though, this afternoon. I'm expecting breaks even late morning. Daytime highs warmer than yesterday by 2 to 3 degrees. Up to 8, drops down to 2 overnight as the cloud fills back in. Only 6 for a high tomorrow with showers developing. Could see some snow up over the mountaintops, which is good news for the North Shore Hills. I'm sure you've noticed the diminishing snow up there over the last week or so. After an excellent and early start to the season. Now we're looking at 7 degrees on Friday with rain on the way, 10 to 20 millimeters potentially. We'll let you know if that rain's going to stretch into the weekend coming up. Currently we have 4 degrees, 3 degrees actually in Coquitlam, 3 degrees in Port Moody, and 4 downtown Vancouver. The guaranteed high is 8.
Thank you, gentlemen. 11:30 News Radio time. It is 8:12. A New Zealand man playing his first ever competitive Scrabble game in Spanish, a language he doesn't even speak, has won the game's world title.
Nigel Richards, a professional player who holds 5 English language world titles, started memorizing the language's Scrabble word list a year ago, according to a friend. He lost only 1 out of 24 games, as opposed to the runner-up, who won 18 of his games and does speak Spanish. Richards has done this before. In 2015, he became the French language Scrabble world champion, despite not speaking French. After studying the word list for 9 weeks, he took the French title again in 2018. I'm Karen Shamas.
Well, Demko makes his return for the Canucks. We've got sports and top headlines up next.
It's Todd Talbot for the VGH Millionaire Lottery with big news about this year's early bird. Now with 61 prizes worth over $210,000. Choose 2 electric vehicles or a private jet experience or $125,000 in cash. Or be one of 60 additional winners of tax-free cash. Win big and support VGH and UBC Hospital Foundation. Get tickets at millionairelottery.com or London Drugs.
19 plus to play. Know your limit. Play within it.
Changes are coming to Kerrisdale Lumber Home. That means big savings for you. They're moving, but not before clearing out the entire showroom in a mega move-out sale. Come shop clearance level discounts on everything in the showroom. Save up to 50% off big names including Weber, Traeger, Big Green Egg, and more. Barbecues, outdoor kitchens, outdoor heaters, pizza ovens, barbecue accessories, and more. It's all priced to move. Hurry in before January 31st to 6365 West Boulevard, CarrisdaleLumber.ca.
Wherever we're needed most, United Way British Columbia is there because we're united for people in need. Visit uwbc.ca.
Vancouver's trusted news. 1130 News Radio.
We've got a mix of sun and cloud, 3 degrees in Vancouver. Good morning, I'm Terry Shins.
And I'm Olivia Jones. Here's what's happening right now.
Traffic alert in Langley, a collision involving a truck and an SUV. Highway 1 westbound before 264th has now been cleared, but the delays are substantial. We have a full traffic report in just a couple of minutes.
The Bank of Canada has made another jumbo cut to interest rates. The rate is coming down another 0.5 point to 3.25%.
It is 8:15. That means it is time for sports from Sportsnet 650, home of the Canucks. Here's Randolph Fairbairn.
The Vancouver Canucks and the St. Louis Blues met in Game 3 of the Canucks' 6-game homestand. Thatcher Demko made his return to the crease, starting for the first time since the first game of the Western Conference playoff opener on April 21st. He made 21 saves, but the Blues get the game winner from Dylan Holloway at 1:40 of OT, and they win it 4-3. Next up, the Canucks will play the defending Cup champion Florida Panthers tomorrow. You can watch it on Sportsnet Pacific. Drop of the puck at 7 o'clock. Finals from the NHL. The Jets all over Boston, 8-1. Oil topped the Lightning 2-1. Leafs beat New Jersey 2-1. And the Calgary Flames got a power play goal from Jonathan Huberdeau at 18:41 of the third. They beat the Nashville Predators 4-3. Later in the league, it's the Buffalo Sabres and New York Rangers at 4 o'clock. And the Senators will host the Ducks at 4:30. You can watch that on Sportsnet. 2 finals in the NBA. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander scored 39 points, added 8 rebounds and 5 assists as the Oklahoma City Thunder snapped the Dallas Mavericks 7-game winning streak with a 118-104 win. And the Milwaukee Bucks beat the Orlando Magic 114-109. Later on Sportsnet 1, you can see the Golden State Warriors face the Houston Rockets. It gets going at 7:30. The Raptors off until tomorrow when they'll play the Heat in Miami. That starts at 4:30. From the Sports Center, I'm Randolph Fairbairn.
1130 News Radio Traffic Alert.
So it's been an interesting morning in traffic. Delta, now there's a multi-vehicle collision. 99 northbound at Ladner Trunk, left lane. It's so busy there from 91. The Abbotsford crash is still there, westbound west of Clearbrook. They cleared up that earlier problem on the freeway at 264th. We'll have the latest at 8:21. This traffic alert brought to you by Willowbrook Shopping Center. Retail therapy redefined. ShopWillowbrook.com.
Sports is brought to you by the Hockey Shop in Langley.
Hi, Brendan Batchelor here for the Hockey Shop in Langley. I've seen a lot of hockey stores in my day, but I've never seen anything like the Hockey Shop. If you've never been there, it's worth the trip. Score big this holiday season with an amazing selection of Bauer hockey products like new Bauer PWHL jerseys and apparel. Show off your team spirit with everything from bold jerseys to fan essentials. Don't just watch the action, be a part of it. The Hockey Shop in Langley or online at thehockeyshop.com.
Sometimes you need an appraisal, but you may not realize it. Campbell & Pound can help. Whether you're transferring real estate to your children or proposing a non-arm's length transaction, trust the professional appraisers at Campbell & Pound. Did you know the government can audit you based on GST, capital gains, and/or property transfer? That's 3 separate taxing authorities, meaning 3 potential audits. When faced with an audit, Campbell & Pound is in your corner. Visit campbell-pound.com.
8:18 in the United States is warning Russia might be ready to again use a new deadly missile against Ukraine.
Наши ракетчики назвали ее «Орешник».
It's called Oreshnik, and Vladimir Putin bragged last month no one else in the world has such a weapon. An intermediate-range ballistic missile, he says, can evade Western air defenses. After last month's launch, a U.S. intelligence assessment now says Russia may use the experimental missile again soon. A U.S. official says the missile's seen more as an attempt at intimidation and not a battlefield game-changer, noting Russia only has a handful of the missiles, which carry a smaller warhead than others regularly launched at Ukraine. Sagar Magani, Washington.
A Wisconsin man who faked his own drowning and then left the wife and 3 kids so he could go to Europe is now in police custody.
Ryan Borgart's name appearing in the Green Lake County Police database overnight, suggesting he is in custody. No charges have been filed, but a press conference is scheduled for later today. It's the latest twist in the case of the 45-year-old Borgard who was originally reported missing in August when he didn't come home after kayaking, but authorities later saying he faked his own disappearance.
That is reporter Eva Pilgrim. Support for BC Premier David Eby seems to be holding steady. Latest survey from Angus Reid shows Eby with the backing of 46% of voters, basically the same as the summer. That puts him in the middle of the pack when it comes to the country's provincial leaders. Wab Kinew in Manitoba topping the list, 67% support. Nova Scotia's Tim Houston and Susan Holt, the new Premier of New Brunswick, a little more than 10 points back. Coming up in 60 seconds, traffic and weather together on the ones. It is 8:20.
White Rock, I thought you liked South Surrey.
I do, but I'm moving the family closer to the beach. Saturday mornings with my toes in the water, can't wait.
My grandma lives in White Rock.
Well, White Rock has changed. Walk to everything. And the beach. Load up the stroller, cruise the promenade.
So where to?
New place called Soul. Perfect sized townhomes and penthouse flats. And did I mention the beach?
About 5 times.
Check it out, soulwhiterock.ca.
The Bailey Nelson sale is here with up to 60% off prescription glasses complete with standard single vision lenses. Now is the time to come and see them. That's frames and lenses, everything from just $99. And with expert eye exams available in every store, you can sort your prescription and glasses all in one trip. Use your vision benefits on the glasses you really want. Book an eye exam ad and find your perfect pair at BaileyNelson.com or visit your local store today. Terms and conditions apply.
8:21. Sounds like we've got a new problem in Delta. Here is Darren Grieve.
Yeah, big delays here. Highway 99 northbound, right at the Laguna Truck exit. It's a multi-vehicle crash, so the left lane here is blocked. Emergency crews are on scene. The volume is now backing all the way to the 91 connector. So delays if you're trying to make your way towards the Massey Tunnel. Maybe think about taking that 91 exit and the Alex Fraser Bridge. It's moving fairly well this morning. And now Ryan Lindemark.
In the valley, still this 2-car crash. Highway 1 westbound, west of Clearbrook and Abbotsford in the left lane. It's slow from McCallum. They cleared up that earlier problem in Langley at number 1 westbound at 264th. So that's good news. Maple Ridge still has a crash on 128th at 216th. Intersection is partially blocked off. Traffic is brought to you by Fortis. Keep your gas meter working safely this winter. Brush snow away from the meter by hand. Learn more. FortisBC.com/meter safety.
To the Penfolds Roofing and Solar Weather Center. See how the rest of the week is going to play out. Here's Michael Coos.
Not as nice as yesterday or today. Today, it's dry all the way into the afternoon and more sun developing through the afternoon, Terry. So it's an okay one, and it's comfortable this morning with the cloud cover. 2 to 4 degrees right now, up to 8 into the afternoon with a mix of sun and cloud on the way. Cloudy tomorrow morning, not wet early on Thursday. Showers are very light rain, just poking in Thursday afternoon, gets up to 6. It's a rainy Friday. We're keeping a close eye on this low. There's a bit of a battle between the low that's approaching the south coast and a high pressure that's building down from the north. If that high pressure is a little stronger, low will be farther offshore. That means less precipitation through Friday and Saturday. At this stage, it's looking like 10 plus millimeters Friday, and potentially that low still affecting the area on Saturday morning, and potentially even bringing cloud cover around through Saturday late day and Sunday, but not that wet to wrap up the weekend. In fact, probably not wet at all. Currently, Langley's bounced up to 3 degrees from morning lows down near freezing. It's also 3 in South Vancouver and 3 in North Van. The afternoon guaranteed high is 8.
And if Michael misses that guaranteed high by more than 2 degrees, you have a chance at the escalating jackpot.
Weather's brought to you by 604 Fixed Leak. Unsure damage caused by a leak is covered by insurance. 604 Fixed Leak can help answer your questions. Leak detection, plumbing, water main, basements, any leak anytime. Call 604 Fixed Leak.
Coming up at the bottom of the hour, the central bank has done the expected, delivered another jumbo interest rate cut this morning, a 50 basis point reduction. This will be the final interest rate decision of the year in our country. We'll have all those details and other top stories coming up in just a couple of minutes. Seems there is growing sympathy for the CEO murder suspect, Luigi Mangione, and it's showing up all over social media. Reporter Andrew Dimberg with the latest.
Google has now removed a flood of negative reviews posted for a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania, after an employee there tipped off police about Mangione's location. People are also now selling mugs and shirts that say "Deny, Defend, and Depose." The words police say were found on bullets at the crime scene, matching the title of a book on why insurance companies don't pay claims. Some sites quick to remove the merchandise sympathetic to Mangione, concerned about glorifying violence.
The 26-year-old Mangione is an Ivy League grad from a prominent Maryland family. Made a lot of money, the family has, in real estate. Conspiracy theorist Alex Jones will get to hold on to some of his InfoWars website, at least for now. U.S. federal judge has rejected a bid from a competing website.
The owners of The Onion had planned to turn InfoWars into another satirical publication, one focused on conspiracy theories. But a bankruptcy judge has found that the auction process for InfoWars was flawed. Jones had been ordered to give up his InfoWars empire, with proceeds from the auction going to families of the Sandy Hook massacre. They successfully sued Jones after he alleged that the mass shooting that killed 26 people was staged. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
The host nations for the next two FIFA World Cups are expected to be announced today.
There should be no surprise when the host nations are announced. According to CNN, there's only one bid for the 2030 and 2034 Men's World Cup. Spain, Portugal, and Morocco are set to be named joint hosts for the next men's event in 6 years' time. And Saudi Arabia is the sole candidate for 2034. And that's the announcement that has the most concern around it. According to multiple reports, several human rights groups are sending out warnings about several potential issues, including the abuse of migrant workers, freedom of speech, and the rights of minority groups in the Gulf nation. Now, the country has committed to significant infrastructure projects, and how those who help build those projects will be kept safe and assured safe work environments remains to be heard. At least 65,000 migrant workers were killed in preparation for the 2022 tournament in Qatar. I'm Alain Cavion.
11:30 News Radio Traffic Alert.
Four-car crash northbound Highway 99 near Ladner Trunk Road in Delta is leading to big backups. It is slow from south the Highway 91 connector. Use the 91 and the Alex Fraser to get around it. Elsewhere, the crash on Highway 1 westbound near 264th is gone, but the collision at Clearbrook is still being cleared. Darren and Ryan will have an update at 8:31.
This 11:30 News Radio Traffic Alert has been brought to you by Willowbrook Shopping Center. Retail therapy redefined. Shop willowbrook.com.
Well, a Christmas favorite comes to the Orpheum this weekend. Royal Winnipeg Ballet in town to perform the Nutcracker. You can follow the adventures of Clara, her Nutcracker Prince, and the Sugar Plum Fairy as they discover the magic of a distinctly Canadian holiday season. There are 5 shows running from Friday until Sunday. We got a check on the business news up next.
Christmas news
25 minutes past the hour
on 11:30 News Radio Vancouver.
11:30 News Radio All Christmas News is brought to you by Barkbusters, a better way to better a dog. Visit barkbusters.ca.
Metro Vancouver traffic can be hard to maneuver on a good day.
And when issues occur, you can get stuck in gridlock.
No, the moment problems happen with the 11:30 News Radio Traffic Alert.
When issues arise, the 11:30 traffic team jumps into action.
Breaking in, giving details on where the problem is and how to avoid it. The 11:30 News Radio Traffic Alert.
Brought to you by Willowbrook Shopping Center. Retail therapy redefined. Shop willowbrook.com.
Exclusively on 11:30 News Radio Vancouver.
Well, Bay Street opened the trading day at a record high with the TSX up better than 150 points in the opening minutes. Now it's up just 34 on the Bay Street benchmark, 25,726. Upward momentum coming, though, from the railways, CN and CP, both up by 1% so far. The maneuvers or signals coming out of China's central bank overnight about a loosening of monetary policy into 2025, kind of igniting a buy on some of the gold stocks and the mining companies on the TSX. Teck Resources, copper miner and others, is up by 5.5% so far this morning. Kinross, Agnico, and Barrick all up by better than 3%. The price for gold is up $36 at $26.95. Wall Street's got the Dow Jones it's down 109, and the Nasdaq down 118. Nasdaq and S&P both pulling back from records. S&P 500 down by 21 points. A drop-off for NVIDIA on indications that China is going to be looking at NVIDIA on maybe some antitrust concerns, and that's got NVIDIA stock down 3.1%. Shares of Apple up 0.75%, testing a record. Palantir had opened higher, but now pulling back by 2.75%, and Tesla down by 1.5%. In the currency market, the Canadian dollar at 70.82 is up 1/5 cent. The Bank of Canada set for a policy announcement midweek. Only question that really remains whether they go 25 or 50 basis points on the interest rate reduction, and the probability of that right now 83% according to the bond trade. The price for gold up $35, Bitcoin down 2,500, had breached 100,000 briefly again this morning, back now at 97,500. At the Business Center, I'm Mike Eppel.
In 100 meters, turn right. Actually, no. Turn left. There's some awesome new breakfast wraps at McDonald's.
Really?
Yeah. There's the sausage, bacon, and egg, a crispy seasoned chicken one, a spicy and egg, worth the detour.
They sound amazing.
Bet they taste amazing, too. Wish I had a mouth. Take your morning into a delicious new direction with McDonald's new breakfast wraps. Add a small premium roast coffee for $1 plus tax. At participating McDonald's restaurants. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Breaking story from Alpine News Network. Firefighter Finn McHose, that's a nickname, right? Needed help contending with a blaze of debt. He called Alpine Credits and a superhero was sent his way. Summoning water, she extinguished the fire and consolidated his debt into one low monthly payment. His floors may be wet, but his debt is under control. Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved.
Dean Reg Sealer producing the 11:30 News Radio Morning Show. It is 8:30.
Number one for breaking news, traffic, and weather. 11:30 News Radio, Vancouver.
Good morning. It is Wednesday, December 11th. Thanks for joining us. I'm Olivia Jones.
And I'm Terry Shins. We've got a mix of sun and cloud, 3 degrees in Vancouver. Here's what's happening right now.
Traffic alert. Expect big delays out of Delta. Full traffic report is moments away.
Canada's big bank makes a big rate cut ahead of the holidays as the economy continues to struggle.
The war of words between Canada Post and the union representing striking workers continues as the strike nears the 1-month mark.
The tit-for-tat trade war of words continues between Trump and Trudeau amid U.S. tariff threats, fueling another meeting between the Prime Minister and Canada's premiers today.
The return of Thatcher Demko between the pipes wasn't enough for the Canucks to beat the Blues, and Shea and the Thunder get the win over the red-hot Mavericks. Sports at 45.
Back-to-back jumbo interest rate cuts by the Bank of Canada. The TSX jumps by more than 100 points and a record high on the NASDAQ. Business at 56.
It is 8:31.
Let's head up to the 11:30 News Radio Air Patrol and Darren Grieve.
We're seeing big delays in Delta now for this multi-vehicle crash. It's northbound Highway 99 just before the Ladner Trunk overpass, right at the exit there. The left lane blocked and emergency crews are on scene, so the volume is back before the 91 interchange. You can take that 91 exit and either continue on to the Alex Fraser or take Ladner Trunk and reconnect with 99. That will get you through the Massey Tunnel, where you find almost no delays northbound there. And now Ryan Lidemark.
Abbotsford, still a 2-car crash. Westbound number 1 west of Clearbrook Road in the left lane. Busy from McCallum. That earlier problem, the number 1 at 264th, that's gone and things have eased off. Up to the Portman Bridge, not too bad. It's eased off there. Burnaby Lake, you're still busy on the way from Kensington up to the Ironworkers. Traffic is brought to you by JanPro, leaders in commercial cleaning and janitorial. If your workplace demands a clean environment, contact JanPro. For a free no obligation quote, visit janpro.ca.
And now to the Penfolds Roofing and Solar Weather Center, meteorologist Michael Coos.
Hey, Olivia. A gray start to the day, but not cold. We're 3-4 degrees for most areas across the lower mainland. Into the afternoon, up to 8 degrees, a couple degrees warmer than yesterday. Becomes a mix of sun and clouds. So there's sun on the way for today, but after today, not a lot of breaks of blue in that longer range forecast. Increasing cloud tomorrow. We'll look at some showers developing into the afternoon, then rain on the way for Friday. Currently, Surrey's at 3 degrees, still mainly cloudy. 3 degrees as well, Burnaby Mountain, and overcast. The daytime high, the guaranteed high is 8.
11:30 news time, 8:33.
11:30 News Radio.
developing story.
A 4-car crash on Highway 99 near the Ladner Trunk overpass has northbound traffic crawling to the Massey Tunnel. You're backed up to the Highway 91 connector. Use Highway 91 to the Alex Fraser Bridge as an alternate route. We'll have a full update coming up for you in just a few minutes.
It's being seen as an early holiday gift from the Bank of Canada, especially if you've got a balance on the credit card or you're dealing with a mortgage.
11:30's Mike Eppel says the Bank of Canada has announced a big cut to its key interest rate.
50 basis point interest rate reduction, bringing the overnight lending rate down to 3.25%. So that's 1.75% below its peak at the start of the summer, trying to reignite the economy. And Bank of Canada Governor Tiff Macklem talking about why they went 50 as opposed to 25 today.
The council agreed we no longer need monetary policy that's clearly in restrictive territory. And then the second element is, when you look at all the data, it does tilt towards a softer economic outlook than we published in October.
Macklem also talking about the threat of U.S. tariffs as an economic drag, saying that next year we could expect more moderate interest rate relief. At the Business Center, I'm Mike Eppel.
With Christmas only 2 weeks away now, looks like there is no end in sight for the strike or the bickering between Canada Post and its unionized workers.
The two sides appear to be moving even further apart. The Canadian Union of Postal Workers issued a statement last night pushing back on recent criticism from Canada Post, giving a list of proposals it says are meant to bring the two parties closer together. The statement came after Canada Post said Monday that the union's latest proposals widen the gap, claiming in some cases the union had increased its demands. CUP W says its latest proposals included wage increases lower than previously demanded. 55,000 workers have been off the job since November 15th. Federal mediation was put on pause 2 weeks ago, and still no plans for government intervention. I'm Laura Carney.
Well, the day after being called the governor of the great state of Canada by U.S. President-elect Donald Trump, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is set to meet with David Eby and the country's other premiers to discuss the Trump tariff threat.
Our Jamie Pulfer is setting the scene for the upcoming virtual gathering.
Ontario Premier Doug Ford appearing on Fox News again yesterday, saying that he'll hold the Prime Minister's feet to the fire. And this.
I'd be more than happy to fly down to Florida tomorrow. If the president had a few minutes, I'd be down there in a heartbeat.
So talking about a willingness to meet with Trump today, last night during a gala in Ottawa, Trudeau took a shot at Trump, saying for the second time the United States voted not to elect its first woman president. This after Trump again called the Prime Minister Governor Trudeau of the great state of Canada. I'm Jamie Pulfer.
11:30 News Radio Traffic Alert.
Delta, there's a multi-vehicle collision. 99 northbound at Ladner Trunk Road in the left lane. It's super slow for 99 from the 91 exit. If you go up to the 91 to avoid this, it's only slow from 72nd to the Alex Fraser Bridge. And the good news in the valley, all the earlier problems for Highway 1 are gone in Abbotsford and Langley, so you're fine on the way towards the Portman Bridge. This traffic alert brought to you by Willowbrook Shopping Center, Retail Therapy Redefined. ShopWillowbrook.com.
Thank you, Ryan. It is 8:36. We have a mix of sun and cloud, 3 degrees in Vancouver, and dozens of healthcare workers rallied in Burnaby yesterday as the BC Nurses Union prepares to go into provincial contract negotiations.
Our Cecilia Waugh speaking with the union's Claudette Jutt, who says on-the-job safety needs to improve.
The top concerns among nurses continues to be physical safety, with workers saying they're constantly exposed to aggressive patients and illicit drugs.
I've seen nurses being spat on, punched, kicked. They've had equipment in the room used as weapons against them. They've been harmed in the course of their work. So whether that's exposure to illicit drug use or violence and any kind of aggression, they're going off and they are not able to return back safely to their families.
In Burnaby, Cecilia Hua, City News.
Delta police say the badly injured man who disappeared early Monday morning has been found dead. Police had issued an urgent alert for people in a part of North Delta to search for the 21-year-old who had left his home in his underwear. Police are not getting into any specifics, but say the death is not considered suspicious.
About 1 in 4 drivers say they're either very nervous or extremely nervous when it comes to driving through parking lots during busy times of the year.
That's the latest from an ICBC survey, which says 7 in 10 drivers have been in or witnessed a crash in a parking lot. Our Joe Sadowski learns some of the reasons why from ICBC.
During the holidays, it's no surprise that parking lots are filled with holiday shoppers and last-minute gift buyers. In December of last year, there were over 7,500 vehicle incidents in parking lots throughout the province, accounting for over 30% of all crashes.
Well, I think it's because, number one, there's way more pressure on the parking lot. Busier, lots of cars. The conditions could be raining, could be snow possibly. It's darker earlier. So these conditions aren't favorable for drivers.
In Vancouver, Joe Sadowski, City News.
We have Vancouver's station for breaking news, traffic, and weather. Traffic alerts as they happen. 11:30 News Radio.
Coming up, we'll take a look at your border report.
Unwrap the magic of the season at Willowbrook Shopping Center. Visit Santa and his elves for a holiday photo and drop by Mrs. Claus's workshops every Friday for fun activities for the kids. Willowbrook Shopping Center. Shop, dine, and unwind. Plan your visit at shopwillowbrook.com.
Don't miss the London Drugs Weekly Flyer. During the Canada Post disruption, you can still find London Drugs Weekly Flyer in-store or online at londondrugs.com/flyer. That's londondrugs.com/flyer.
Border Report, brought to you by Pacific Blue Cross Travel Insurance. Buy a travel plan and your kids are covered free at pacificbluecross.ca.
And with your 11:30 News Radio Pacific Blue Cross Border Report, here is Ryan.
Well, it's fine now. Nice and quiet. It's been throughout the morning, Olivia. So for a good time for anybody wanting to cross between BC and Washington. 5-10 minute wait both ways at Peace Arch. Same for Pacific Highway. 10 minutes for commercial vehicles. 10 minutes at Aldergrove. And same for Sumas. You can find border wait times anytime. Vancouver.citynews.ca/border.
Coming up, traffic and weather together. The latest on a crash on Highway 99 in Delta. It is 8:40.
This holiday season, make memories to last a lifetime at Guildford Town Center with Santa's Winter Wonderland. Capture the magic with Photos with Santa, available until December 23rd. Whether you walk in or book an appointment online, it's the perfect way to create cherished family moments in the Lower Mainland's grandest holiday set. Enjoy flexible hours and a beautiful festive set that will delight everyone. Don't miss out. Visit Santa today. Walk-ins are welcome or reserve your spot at guildfordtowncenter.com.
Drainmaster is your trenchless expert, specializing in water line, sewer line, and drain tile repairs without digging a trench. Call Drainmaster Plumbers at 604-739-2000. DrainmasterTrenchless.com. DrainmasterTrenchless.com.
Buy gifts with MasterCard Click to Pay faster than your family can unwrap them. Get 4% CT money when you use your Triangle MasterCard on qualifying purchases at Canadian Tire, Sport Check, and Marks. Conditions apply to collecting CT money. Visit triangle.com for details.
8:41, back up to the 11:30 News Radio Air Patrol and Darren Grieve.
Still have this crash in Delta on Highway 99 northbound right at the Ladner Trunk exit there. So the volume is super heavy. Left lane blocked, 3 or 4 vehicles involved, emergency crews on scene, the whole works. You're right back to the 91 connector. You can take the 91 exit and reconnect with Ladner Trunk if you like. There's some volume on Ladner Trunk because of this crash though. Or you can just take the Alex Fraser northbound 91 a little slow through the 72nd merge and then again from Midspan to about Cliveden. And now Ryan Lidemark.
All the earlier problems are gone for Highway 1 in the Valley. Abbotsford crash has gone by Clearbrook westbound. Same with the thing in Langley by 264th, and it's eased off nicely. Around the Portman Bridge, a little bit of volume. Where it's really heavy for the number 1 is actually the Ironworkers. Delays westbound from Willingdon through the Cassiar. There is no problems. And then West Vancouver, a 2-car crash on the upper levels highway eastbound, east of Caulfield right lane. And in Maple Ridge, a collision Lougheed Highway westbound at Kanaka Way has the right lane closed off. Traffic is brought to you by Honda. Love a good save? Then you'll love the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue EV. Score up to $10,000 in combined rebates. Visit bchonda.ca.
And now to the Penfolds Roofing and Solar Weather Center. Some blue sky out there now. Meteorologist Michael Coos.
Yeah, starting to break. We've been watching this wave of clearing that's coming in from the west, and it's just getting up along the coast. It'll take a little bit to permeate the entire area. It becomes partly sunny through the late morning into the afternoon as well. Temperatures are quite nice. Easterly wind near 20 kilometers per hour, so it's not totally wind-free. 8 degrees at least. east, drops down to 2 overnight. Cloud fills back in for tomorrow morning. A light precipitation in the afternoon, almost evening. It's late day and more of a Friday event, really. Friday does look like the wettest day in the forecast. Though right now, temperatures are still pretty steady with that clearing sky. 4 degrees in North Burnaby, 3 degrees North Vancouver, and 4 downtown. The afternoon guaranteed high is 8.
Well, it's brought to you by Brown Brothers Ford. Unwrap huge savings this December on electric and gas vehicles during Brown Brothers Ford's holiday savings event, where holiday cheer meets unbeatable deals.
8:43, thank you, gentlemen. Fruitcake may be one of the most disliked Christmas treats, but have you ever wondered about its origin?
It's the love it or hate it holiday baked good.
We all like to dunk on it. We all like to pretend that we hate it, but, we still make it. We still buy it.
That was Brian Earl, the host of the Christmas Past podcast. On his show, he explained the origins of fruitcake began as an energy bar that originally consisted of barley mash, pomegranate seeds, raisins, and pine nuts.
And some version of that has been around since Roman times as just more like portable calories to kind of take with you when you're traveling or on the battlefield.
He says during medieval times is when it began to look more like the fruitcake we know today.
There was even a time when it was banned for being quote unquote sinfully sweet. It was the Victorians who really put the finishing touches on it. They added one very specific touch, which was alcohol.
I'm Eva Fragiscatos.
Coming up, we'll take a look at your sports and your top headlines. It's 8:44.
Look closely, and you can see Christmas laughing joyously as she peeks over the horizon. She will be here before you know it.
Sarah, tell them. You promised me you would tell them.
There is a person in your life that you love.
That's right.
I've designed a diamond pendant. It's called The Road We Travel.
If you don't say it, I'm going to say it for you.
I want you to buy one this Christmas for your traveling companion.
Hooray! You did it!
It's a 3-dimensional Mobius circle with 10 created diamonds. Trace your finger along that golden road and you will travel all the way around the front and the back of the pendant without ever lifting your finger. It's a miracle, just like your relationship.
We shall not cease from exploration, and the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time.
The solid gold road we travel is just $199 in Spence diamonds, or buy it with larger diamonds for just $299. Spence. Wow! Open late in Vancouver and Langley.
The TSC holiday deal of the day is up to 55% off the Avera 18-karat gold diamond studs or 3-stone diamond ring. The Today Showstopper offers at tsc.ca.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. 1130 News Radio.
We have a mix of sun and cloud, 3 degrees in Vancouver. Good morning. I'm Olivia Jones.
And I'm Terry Shins. Here's what's happening right now.
Traffic alert. A multi-vehicle crash northbound Highway 99 near Ladner Trunk Road in Delta has led to big backups. You're slow from south of the 91. Use the 91 instead to get to the Alex Fraser. A full traffic report is moments away.
Bank of Canada has lowered its key interest rate by 0.5 percentage point, but signaled a slower pace of rate cuts moving forward. That marking the 5th consecutive reduction since June brings the key rate down to 3.25%.
Time now for sports from Sportsnet 650, the home of the Canucks. Here's Randolph Fairbairn.
Dylan Holloway scored the game winner in overtime as the St. Louis Blues handed the Vancouver Canucks a second straight loss in a 4-3 victory. Elias Pettersson had a goal and an assist, while Connor Garland had 2 assists. Thatcher Demko made his return to the net for the Canucks, his first game since April 21st. He made 21 saves. The Canucks get the day off from game action. They'll continue their homestand tomorrow against the Florida Panthers. You can watch it on Sportsnet Pacific. With the drop of the puck at 7 o'clock, the Calgary Flames got a power play goal late in the third from Jonathan Huberdeau. They beat the Predators in Nashville 4-3. Flames will host the Lightning tomorrow. Watch it on Sportsnet 1, starting at 7 Mountain. Later in the league, the Ottawa Senators will host the Anaheim Ducks at 4:30. You can watch that on Sportsnet, and the Sabres will take on the New York Rangers in Buffalo. It starts at 4. Abbotsford off until Saturday when they'll play the first of 2 in a weekend set against the Manitoba Moose. Game 1 goes at 7 o'clock, and the Giants will be in Victoria to face the Royals on Friday. Puck dropping at 7:05. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander scored 39 points. The Oklahoma City Thunder beat the Dallas Mavericks 118-104. That snapped a 7-game winning streak for Dallas. Later in the NBA on Sportsnet 1, you can see Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors face the Houston Rockets. It gets going at 6:30. From the Sports Center, I'm Randolph Fairbairn.
1130 News Radio Traffic Alert.
Delta multi-vehicle crash 99 northbound at Ladner Trunk Road in the left lane. It's super slow from the 91 exit. Also problem in West Vancouver. We'll get to all the details at 8:51. This traffic alert brought to you by Willowbrook Shopping Center. Retail therapy redefined. ShopWillowbrook.com.
It's the most wonderful time of the year on Pluto TV. Get all your holiday favorites absolutely free. Cozy up with festive classics and heartwarming movies streaming all day, every day to get you in the holiday spirit. Explore entire channels guaranteed to spread the cheer with bright lights, festive fireplaces, and the holiday music you love. We've got something for everyone. Season's greetings from Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
Stephen Curtis here from Willowbrook Chrysler. Curtis, did you hear the news?
Did I ever, Steve? Willowbrook Chrysler is the #1 volume dealer in Canada.
You bet. We outsold every Chrysler dealer in Canada in November. We're #1 across the country, man.
Hot diggity dog, that's amazing.
Our customers get the lowest prices. That's how we did it. And the highest appraisals.
From Newfoundland to Tofino, Canada-wide, all 7,500 kilometers of this country, and we're #1.
Get to Willowbrook Chrysler, where friends mean more than money.
Welcome back. 11:30 News Radio time. It is 8:49. In the weeks leading up to the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, friends and family were concerned about the accused shooter, Luigi Mangione. Reporter Lionel Moyes has the story.
His mother last month filed a missing persons report in San Francisco. A former roommate in Hawaii says Mangione struggled with a back injury.
The severity of his back issue was such that it was very difficult to have physical relationships with women.
In addition to back pain, Mangione also posting about brain fog and sciatica, at one point writing, "It's absolutely brutal to have such a life-halting issue."
Mangione was arrested in Altoona, Pennsylvania, about 370 kilometers west of New York City.